the night. So let's welcome to him first. He is a touch confused. It is Confused Steve!
Interesting story with Confused Steve. He never seems to know where he is at any given point in time. But muscle memory alone seems to allow him to do unbelievable things in the ring. I spoke to Steve just before we came on the air here today. He didn't even realise he had a match. He's asking everybody, what am I doing here? Am I facing somebody tonight? We know now that he has. He's taken on the debuting Brent Albright. Getting into the ring.
Well, as we see the entrance of Confused Steve, you mentioned the name of his opponent. This is going to be another debutante, a man having his first ever professional wrestling.
His debut here in the ring. It is Brent Newman!
Brent Newman, my apologies, is the opponent for Confused Steve. Brent Newman has a very, very big hand in contributing to what we're doing here tonight, Lawrence. If you want to give a little bit of a background on the reason why we're all gathered here tonight.
Yeah, massive in the production of this show for Andy's Man Club here tonight to raise awareness for mental health in males, to try and prevent as many suicides that happen.
A lot of credit goes to Brent Newman, not just for the organisation of this event, but having the guts to step in the ring and wrestle his very first match, again on a show that holds a lot of meaning to it. We mentioned earlier about the nerves of Sid Phoenix, who gave a great account of himself against Jonathan Sedgwick. Surely the nerves of Brent Newman are tenfold due to his involvement with the production of tonight's event.
Obviously this event means a lot to Brent. Confused Steve offering a hand and being accepted there.
Tie up after the handshake. Arm drag by Confused Steve, as you said, is unusual, bizarre, disorientated, discombobulated, but can also hand himself inside a pro wrestling ring.
Yeah, it seems to be that bell ring. All of a sudden, the muscle memory that he has seems to be able to pop moves off like he knows exactly what he's doing. But then in other moments, he just completely loses his train of thought and he's talking to a wall.
We saw Confused Steve with a hip toss and an arm drag. Brent Newman replies with both of those and a body slam. So it's very equal so far. Steve takes Newman down the clothesline.
Steve is more of a brawler. He has the... I say brawler, he's more of a fighter. That's probably the best way to describe him. He has a kickboxing background, a bit of Muay Thai. The man knows how to strike.
Well, as you say there, you just alluded to the fact that he can strike, and we saw it there in that springboard knee drop from Confused Steve. He's going to come charging at Newman in the corner. Newman avoids though. Newman comes running. Big splash in the corner. Maybe looking for another one.
Steve will be looking for the kiss of confusion, that spin kick that he has. Kneeling DDT there from Newman. Spinning back kick, elbow to the back of the neck.
Curb stomp by Steve, not quite sure how much we got, but it was enough to take his opponent down, his brand new opponent should be said. Lazy cover by Steve, however, maybe underestimating Newman due to it being his debut.
Just glancing blow with a jab there.
Belly to back suplex, deposits his opponent down roughly on the back of his head.
Seems quite happy to see what happened there. Well, Steve went for a cover, but
Newman able to rally with a sidewalk slam.
looked like a cover there, but Newman this time letting him up.
Neither man being particularly aggressive with the other one. Newman with the forearm. Takes him down a second time. Ducks into the clothesline. Hangman's noose neck breaker. Takes some few feet down. This time he does on the leg and it's only good for 2.
Perhaps maybe Newman thought he'd not done enough damage just on the back of that sidewalk slam to garner a pinfall victory.
Steve with a handspring. Gammon Gurry catches Newman right on the side of the head. Maybe caught him in the ear that time.
Yeah, makes you lose your balance if you ever been kicked in the head.
Yeah, Brent Newman maybe dealing with equilibrium issues. Gets caught though. Ankle scissors takes Newman face first into the buckle. Off the ropes. Elevation drop kick once again to the side of the head of Newman. I'm seeing a theme here.
Looks like he's trying to put this away.
Drops Newman down on his head.
Interesting combination there. Caught the leg, kicked the other leg out, and then obviously drove down with the head into a DDT.
Maybe looking for a TKO here. Death Valley cradle bomb instead. Steve makes the cover again. It's another lax cover, not up to the leg. But not a huge amount of life in that kick out from Newman.
Yeah, obviously Newman hasn't been here before, whereas confused Steve has. Be interesting to see how much is in the tank of Brett Newman here.
Well, Steve got caught napping. Spinebuster slam from Newman. Newman maybe looks to finish his opponent off in this debut match. Confused Steve doesn't appear to know where he is, not for the first time. Hooks a clothesline, up on the shoulders. Takes him down with that waistline slam, middle of the ring, and Newman gets the fall.
That win must mean a lot to Brett Newman, putting on this show for everybody here today, picking up the win on his debut.
A very sudden turn of events. Brett Newman able to overcome a lot of offense on the side of the head.
That shows sportsmanship here to end this match.
Very impressive debut for Brett Newman, doing himself proud here in his very, very first match. And as you say, a great sign of sportsmanship between these two fan favourites.
That must bring us to the main event of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's come down to the main event of the night. So, let's welcome its name first. He's a former two-time UK wrestling heavyweight champion. He is one half of the collective. It's
Now time for our main event, this huge triple threat match. Oh, wait a minute.
See Henry Winter joining Cayman Carlisle. I've got my own personal issues with these two after they showed up at my house and beat me up, but can't deny that these two aren't a unit when they're together. Carlisle perhaps sending Winter to the back there.
Well, hopefully, Lawrence, you can put your personal feelings aside as we see the introduction of Cayman Carlisle. A man who has a lot of history with one of his opponents in this triple threat match.
I have a saying that I like to use, but I'll get to that a bit later on. I'm still more interested in the fact that Cayman Carlisle has sent Henry Winter to the back in effectively a triple threat where there are no rules. Henry Winter could have stayed out here and basically done Cayman Carlisle's bidding for him.
next in the ring, he
Jet Marshall originally becoming tag team champions with Leon Slater as part of Altitude, knocking off what was the original incarnation of the collective, Henry Windsor and Andrew Jepson, which was led at that time by Cayman Carlisle. So Marshall himself knows enough about Cayman Carlisle to be sure that he could be a thorn in the side here tonight.
Jet Marshall making his way to the ring. He's second man in this huge triple threat match. Our main event here tonight, a wrestling for mental health awareness. No championships on the line here, but a lot of pride.
Marshall there taunting Cayman Carlisle for his jacket and his head.
Next opponent into the ring, he is a former tag team champion. He's also a former UK Wrestling Academy champion. He was the youngest and held it for the longest. Please welcome into the ring,
Ellis Barker, the third man in this match. Last month at WrestleMania 11, we saw him take Josie Connors to the limit. Unsuccessfully, he definitely pushed Josie Connors to that limit. Arguably, the pound for pound, the best wrestler here at UK Wrestling. And an all-round fan favourite.
I mentioned during the entrance of Cayman Carlisle that he had a lot of issues with a certain member of this match. That man, of course, is Ellis Barker. Lawrence, if you wouldn't mind giving us some background history on the huge rivalry between these two that's lasted for over 5 years.
And these two first met sometime around WrestleMania 8 at the time. Cayman Carlisle, the Academy champion, Ellis Barker beat Cayman Carlisle for that championship at WrestleMania 8. And since then, every time these two have met in competition, Ellis Barker wins. My favourite saying is there's 3 certainties in life. Everybody knows the 2, death and taxes, but the other one, Barker beats Carlisle. It'll be interesting to see with Jet Marshall added into the mix if this is going to happen yet again here tonight.
The first person to pin will be the ultimate winner.
Plus 1 fall, no disqualifications, no countouts. The only way to win, pinfall or submission. Ellis Barker, Cayman Carlisle, Jet Marshall, triple threat match, main event.
Obviously, we're not going to see what we saw early tonight in that scramble match. Not very sportsmanlike.
Absolutely, some unnecessary language employed by Cayman Carlisle here. So it's going to be Marshall and Ellis Barker. Marshall charges, bypassed by Barker. Back elbow switch, Barker throbs, drop down, cartwheel over by Barker, nicely done. Rolls over the back, does Marshall. Marshall takes down the legs, comes charging. Tierra's attempt on Carlisle, who just power bombs Marshall onto the back of Barker, and Cayman Carlisle has found himself in control of this match extraordinarily quickly.
What I was going to point out is we saw the finish of the Fatal 4-Way. LRB and Billy O'Keefe were fighting on the outside of the ring when Kane Taylor manages to pin Victor Wood to become to retain his TV championship. In this, that situation won't occur. There's only 3 men in here, so each man's going to have eyes in the back of his head to make sure that the third man can't break up a cover or a submission attempt.
Carlisle now is stomping Marshall down into the corner. Comes charging off the ropes. Big boot to the side of the head. The force of that boot sending Marshall all the way to the floor. Barker comes in, ducks clothesline, arm drag, and a second. Nice form of the arm drags. Hooks a clothesline, spins him all the way around. Third arm drag, nicely done.
And this has been the history that these two seem to have for a long, long time.
Run out in the corner by Barker.
Apologies there. Carlisle never seems to be able to get the best of Barker in whatever situation he's placed.
Even before Barker could get 1 count out of that. Marshall was in to break up the fall. Suplex takes Barker over.
Marshall taunting now, rather than trying to connected with a side kick to the side of, it looked to be Barker's ear there. See that strike there, and Marshall feeling the effects after it as well.
Well, now appears to be that Marshall and Carlisle forming some sort of temporary alliance, to team up on Barker, who's having boots just rained down.
And perhaps that sound strategy by Carlisle. Get rid of the man that he can't beat, so he can tackle the man that potentially can.
Absolutely nothing the referee can do either. Not break any rules. There's no scarifications in this match.
There you have it.
There you see, to your point, Lawrence, Carlisle turning very quickly on Marshall, catching Marshall a schoolboy roll up for a two count, and now Marshall responding in kind. And you have to think this alliance isn't going to last long with tactics like that.
Face to face, nose to nose, now shoving one another. Face watch there.
And very, very quickly, less than a minute after this alliance was formed, both men trading right hands in the middle of the ring. Marshall wins the exchange. Irish whip sends his opponent off the ropes, ducks under a clothesline. Flying forearm. And a second. Marshall now the head of steam.
Barker back to his feet on the outside.
Marshall comes charging in, ducks under, takes the leg, double stomp, nicely done. Comes charging again, sliding drop kick to the side of the head.
Back taking his time getting back into the ring there. Could argue that was quite a wise decision actually.
Bicycle kick by Barker, European uppercut. Throws him off the ropes, another big forearm. Takes him all the way up, gets hit with a super kick by Carlisle, but Marshall still took the brunt of the landing, only a 2 count. Carlisle like a vulture trying to steal the pinfalls.
It was a smart decision there by Carlisle, kicking Barker in the face. Just momentum itself taking Marshall over.
Carlisle is raking the back of Barker.
The pain on the face. Face shook him, pulling at the nose, but nothing that the referee can do other than check to see if Ellis gives up. Marshall trying to take his time now, recover on the apron.
Marshall can't be sleeping for too long. This isn't elimination, it's only 1-4. Carlisle brings Barker out, clubs to the back. Barker is trying to fight back. Marshall tried to enter the ring, but just gets dropped with that right hand by Carlisle.
And Carlisle is the only former heavyweight champion in the ring. He's been to the mountaintop.
Well, Barker took off the ropes, got clotheslined for his troubles. Carlisle with a pin, only 2.
Opting not to hook the leg there. Bit of a cocky cover, some might say. Not enough body on body to keep Barker down at that instance.
Carlisle just a headbutt there to the skull of Marshall, who drops all the way to the floor. Carlisle, to his credit, has done an excellent job of cutting the match in half. He's isolating Ellis Barker.
Carlisle is dominating this match at the moment. You could argue that he's in there with the person he wants to beat the most, Ellis Barker, after the history these two have had.
Barker certainly has been the thorn in the side of the career of Carlisle. Barker is up on the second row, gets met though with that big left hand to the gut.
Now again, just dictating.
Absolutely, both men looking for a double superplex on Barker here. Barker fights out though and sends both men crashing to the mat. Barker now on the top rope. Springboard back elbow takes both men down.
Barker fight 2 men at once.
Barker unloading on both of his opponents. just a chest kick to Carlisle there.
Barker trying to isolate.
He's got
From Muscle Buster.
up for a Muscle Buster. Carlisle stops though, pulls him down. Super kick to the side of the head of Barker. Bicycle kick by Marshall, excuse me. Lateral press. And just a shot to the back by Marshall.
Not only very disrespectful, but also awfully painful. And now Carlisle responds in kind. And again, these two nose to nose. And shoving each other once again. This is the second time that these two have. Barker charging out, taking both men down with single leg drop kick each.
Barker now. Turning hammer position. Marshall drops down the back. Super kick takes the thigh out, the quadricep of Barker. Maybe looking for that trigger to the back. Ducks underneath. Gets boosted him onto the second. Back in position for that muscle buster that he was looking for earlier. Spins him round into almost an orange crush bomb. Carlisle breaks him with a one-footed drop kick.
Not seen Barker bust that out before.
He's got him hooked, got Carlisle hooked again. Up on the shoulders into a burning hammer. Face buster, almost a psycho drive up on Barker, who hooks the leg and gets the 3 count.
Let's just point out Ellis Barker pinning him and Carlisle
Once again.
You know what Cameron Carlisle has to do to shake this, but he cannot beat Ellis Barker inside a UK wrestling ring.
Well, all 3 men went to war here at our main event. Ellis Barker somehow managed to overcome the offense given to him by both his opponents. And as you pointed out once again, Cayman Carlisle still unable to beat Ellis Barker. A great display by Barker in our main event. Ellis Barker is your winner here at Wrestling for Mental Health Awareness. Ladies and gentlemen, we have seen twists, we have seen turns, we have seen championship matches, and we have seen debuts. There is a lot to unpack from tonight's event. It's been a great one. Ladies and gentlemen, from Lawrence Breeze, I'm Simon Nuss. Thank you and good night.